So as part of our TKC Smile Design series, I've picked out a smile design case that I'm going to discuss with you. Now this patient has come from the Bahamas in Albany to see us. We have quite a few clients who travel to come and see us for the work, and essentially the reason for this is he wanted to improve his smiles, but to do it in a non-invasive manner. So he didn't want his teeth cut, and he wasn't sure what was possible, and the people he saw in the Bahamas and other places, they all recommended having full veneers, but he was kind of against it because his wife had full veneer treatment in the past, and you know, he didn't really like the fact that the teeth are being mutilated. It's a nice case, and I'm just going to go through this with you. So this is how he appeared. I'm not going to go into too much detail about his occlusion, because his occlusion is quite interesting, but his main concerns were the fact that he had a deep overbite, which means the top teeth come down quite a bit, so you can't see his lower teeth. He's got a crown that's come off on the right side, and also he's got some gaps at the front of his mouth. So when you have gaps at the front of his at the front of the mouth or wherever, you have to look at why are the gaps there. So in his case, the gaps are actually present because his teeth are a little bit smaller than what they should be in certain areas. So there is a two size discrepancy. So if you have a look, his central incisors are fairly normal in size. This lateral is a little bit small, and if you go back here, this is a normal size canine, and these are fairly normal size. On the other side, you can see here the gap's a bit smaller, but again, it's a two size discrepancy. So what we suggested was, initially we would do the top teeth, and in a case like this where we're trying to improve the actual occlusion, the bite, you can see this tooth is over erupted into this position. We would need to effectively restore all of these teeth to open the bite up. The plan is to open the bite up and give him a improved occlusion and give him some balance. So that's what we went ahead and did with literally no preparation. So the only teeth that were touched were the ones that already had crowns, and we had to, this is a crown that's come off, so we're going to remove that crown and replace it. And if we have a look close up, you can see here there's quite a few things that we don't particularly like, but generally speaking, his teeth are in, you know, fairly decent condition at the front. They're not, they're healthy, they're untouched, these front 6 teeth, so why would you want to cut them? So we decided no, we won't, and we went ahead and did some ceramics. Now this is the end result. Now his ceramics appear a bit brighter, and I think it's just, unfortunately, the image is a bit overexposed, but he's got really good translucency. He's gone for a bright shade, so he's gone for a bleach shade, BL2, so it's fairly bright, but there is quite a good translucency, and this is the finished case top and bottom, and you can see we managed to close the gaps. There is going to be some gum infilled into these areas as well, but on this side it's complete closure, this side is closure, and overall it's a really nice result, and it's totally non-prep. So we managed to do all of the teeth. We replaced top, all of these, increases buccal corridor, so when he smiles he shows a bit more, and we also did the lower teeth at the same time. All of the lower teeth were done non-prep as well. So if you look at the before and after, you didn't see it on the initial photo, but his lower teeth actually were, some of them were heavily grinded down just from wear and tear. So we managed to improve that as well as improve his occlusion. So these were raised slightly, but we did not prepare any of his teeth. So it just shows that how we can improve a smile by closing the gaps, making everything look a bit more uniform, but in a non-destructive way. As you can see there, he's a very happy guy, and he's very pleased, and he wants me to come over to Albany and set up a practice, which unfortunately I can't, I'm too busy. But you know, it's a really nice case to showcase, which is totally non-prep. So we did not touch any of those teeth. Within our cases that we do for smile design, we are also trying to make things look quite natural. So not every single case should look the same. They should all have their own unique characteristics. In this case, for instance, because we're doing a non-prep case, you may not have noticed, but his midline is slightly off, which means his top teeth are not directly in the midline, and that doesn't bother him, so it's not something that we would correct, because in order to correct that, you would have to make some space and shift everything across slightly. In this case, because it didn't bother me, we didn't need to do that. Also, we also try to maintain, if you're doing a non-prep case, you're trying to maintain the natural tooth structure. So when it comes to making sure the bite is correct, especially on the lower teeth, you may have noticed here that this tooth is ever so slightly longer than this one on next door to it. So that's also down to just making sure the bite is stable and correct. And because we did not cut any of these teeth, these are some of the unique characteristics of this particular smile design. Symmetry is important, but equally so, a lot of patients do comment that they don't want their teeth to look like dentures. So dentures are just very uniform and everything just looks a bit too perfect, and we agree, we don't want that. So we deliberately create natural characteristics on teeth. We create little notches on the teeth, these little things here, over here, some slight curvature so that the teeth are not symmetrical. The front two, yes, need to be, but then the other ones, you want them to have some unique characteristics rather than just to be very, very much the same. So, and in a lot of our designs, you'll see that even on our full mouth cases of implants, we also try to create a smile that's harmonious. It's not looking super uniform. We don't like that look. And a lot of our veneer cases that I'll show you, and I've already shown you, you can see the intricate detail in the translucency and the features that we put in, and that's all done by the ceramist. So he's deliberately creating all of that, and because it's done by hand, it's easy to do and it's easy to make it look super natural. The key in these type of cases is to make sure that we're able to give the person a really good bite, so they have longevity and they don't have issues with the bite becoming an issue and teeth chipping, etc. So on a full mouth case, we're able to redefine and change the occlusion to make this work. So whenever we do a full mouth case with our ceramics, we're able to give the person what we call a balanced occlusion, and one which is very much in favor of everything moving harmoniously, so that you're not going to get these fractures, etc. And for some of our patients who are on TV a lot, we actually make a second set of veneers for them, and that is just in case they ever need any particular unit change, we're able to do that straight away. So an identical set is made of these ceramics.